Boopity boop boop. We here. GDQ activated podcast.
It's your boy, Real Walter Ford.
Man, it's your boy Mac2301. It's the Activated Podcast. Fuck that. Let's get back into it.
And we were talking about something off the live.
Well, we could start with it with Kamala and the immigration stuff and
okay. So what we was talking about was a video that we posted, which was Kamala Harris, which is the first black and vice president, black woman vice president of the United States, and how she was like, "Don't come." And y'all see that video?
No, it wasn't like don't. It was a serious "don't come." Do not come is what she said. Yeah. It wasn't like a nice thing.
Yeah.
And the next thing she said was the United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our borders.
Yes. And what I said to Q was I feel like it was misconstrued a little bit on the post, because after that she said, we got legal means to do whatever to get in the United States. You got to go through the right channels, go through the right situations.
Okay.
And
now,
he was saying, and Q hit me with a point.
That does sound like the typical response, though. Like, that sounds like the typical response. I'm saying, like, in response to that, like, don't come. But
we've got legal ways.
We welcome anybody that goes through the legal means or whatever the process is.
Yeah, but the way I look at it, I guess the way I seen it was not. The way I looked at it was not malicious, but I could have looked at it that way because I'm biased, because she female, or because she doesn't have an aggressive
that's not
past to her. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at her.
That's not why that you think that way. That's not why you think that way. That's because the Democrats are extraordinarily good.
I don't think it has nothing to do with Democrats.
Rhetoric. It's rhetoric.
Yeah.
It's
I understand that.
And everybody thinks that Kamala can't be saying this because she's the vice president, and that, she wouldn't say that something similar to how Trump would say it. They always say that. We always get told that there's legal means of coming. These people from Guatemala are not coming to illegally. They're coming and claiming asylum, and asylum is a human right. It's recognized by international law. It's recognized by the United States law. When she's in a press conference with the Guatemalan president saying, do not come, there's legal means. That's the problem, is that everybody knows there's legal means, and all it does is it pushes rhetoric that is not true. America's immigration, undocumented, is at the lowest it's been in years.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Our immigration is so bad. We need people to immigrate to the United States at this point because no one wants to come anymore. No one comes to America to try and rig the system. These people are coming from Guatemala. They're coming from South American countries that we ruin because they want asylum. They need a better life. Their country is torn to shreds because of us. There's no real economic opportunities.
Okay, can you say that shit then?
I'm just saying because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. If Donald Trump said that, people would have been like, what the fuck? We know that there's a border. We know people need to come in legally. We know that some people don't come in legally and they hop the fence or whatever. That's the whole idea. But really,
like a thousand
their visas. Doing that, most undocumented people are here because they overstay their visas. The United States doesn't give them their visas how they're supposed to. Our immigration system has been fucked up for a long time, and we've been hearing about immigration reform our whole lives. I've heard it my whole life that we need to reform.
I didn't think about that. You're right. We damn near 30.
It's the same thing over. That's all I'm saying, is that she meant what she said. That rhetoric was a dog whistle to say, do not come here. We don't want you here. We don't want you here because it's good rhetoric. It's good. We need to see.
Well, like I said, I think it's to appease to a certain person. And real quick, before you go too far, I don't think it's Democrat Republican thing, I mean, me personally. Now, I agree. I'm not taking away what you said. I think Democrats do a good job of like portraying a certain thing, but I think that's the game because it's a game. It's a job, fam. They got PRs. They got, you know what I'm saying? They got publicists, whatever. So it's that game too. But I look at it more of like a individualistic. Like, who are you? I mean, I know that obviously they got to be a figure. So like, it's you as a person, not in public, and you as a person in public. But I just don't see her as a person that would take that route, is what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? But not saying she wouldn't. It was surprising to me, is what I'm saying. Like, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see it in that. I didn't see her saying that to have that outcome. But when you put it in that, when you said all that, I understand it better now. Because I looked at it as she was just like, shit. I didn't look at the context. I didn't know she was with the Guatemala president. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking she just had a thing like, hey man, we don't want y'all to come through unless you got the situation taken care of. Whereas Trump was like, fuck Mexicans, y'all rapists. We don't want y'all in our country. Go back, yeah, and then he tell the Muslims, shit, go back to where you're from. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it in that sense, like it's a.
You're gauging it off of that kind of spectrum, that level.
Yeah, like it's a different way. And but with the way you explain it though, like I look at it like it's a different way to say the same thing. Because at the end of the day, I think everybody people will rather people do the legal situation, but at the end of the day, people are more into humans. Me personally, I'm more into like, I'm not, if you like undocumented or something, I'm not gonna be like, fuck this person, send them back, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm more into like, let's help these people, you know what I'm saying? Rather than, but I'm not saying that don't do it the legal way, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm up, so I'm like, I'm not one way, more so fuck people more so than follow the law is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I didn't think that she was expressing it in a way that says fuck you people rather than saying just follow the law, if that makes sense. But the way that you explain it, changed my whole viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? Because you're right. Because the way that people, like you said, it's a dog whistle. I didn't look at it in that sense. Because at the end of the day, using those words in that particular order, in that type of grammatical situation and context, is a fucking dog whistle. Because you in Guatemala, you know what I'm saying? I ain't just with the president and talking to the people and like you looking at somebody in their face like, you're not coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Well, I didn't look at it like that. Yeah. I thought somewhere talking.
Go ahead, Delaney.
I didn't know it was to a specific people at a specific place at a specific time. I thought it was just like you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
completely. But that's their point. That's the point. That's their point. That's their point. That's the point. That was the point, though. That's her point. And I'll let Delaney go. I'll just say this. We've been told a lot of shit about immigration our entire lives, and most of it is not true. Almost all
we've
of it
been told
is
a lot of shit that was not true.
Right? Everything we've been told about immigration is not true. America is a country of immigrants. Like, it's a country of immigrants and stolen people and genocidal. It's built on genocide, stolen people, and immigrants. Okay, so it's all of it is a lie. It's a lie that immigrants steal jobs. It's a lie that they don't pay taxes. It's a lie that they don't try to come here legally. It's a lie that they're trying to jump over the border, swim across some of them do that, but it's a lie that they're being snuck over the border all the time and there's millions of people coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
All of that is a lie.
That shit goofy as hell. Yeah, that shit goofy as hell.
Yeah,
and there's more niggas here selling drugs than niggas crossing borders with drugs.
It's a lie that they're gang members coming and selling drugs and trafficking humans. Some of that does happen, yes, but it's it's so small. Like it's small
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's negligible and it's not true the way they say it. Go ahead, Delaney.
But it's also already happening. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a thing that's already going on. You know what I'm saying? And they like, it's these people fall over here. And it's like, nigga, it's already happening where you at. You know what I'm saying? And they just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's part of it.
It's a product of U.S. policy of why they're like that. In Mexico has the cartels, or Colombia is like this, or all these South American countries are like this.
Have you ever seen Kill the Messenger?
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. I want Delaney to comment because Delaney been.
I'm done.
Don't shut up, man. You saying some real shit, but yeah, Delaney, you right.
I forgot. Shit. Q said let the lady talk like 4 times and you wouldn't shut the fuck up.
And I interrupted too. I'm sorry. But I mean, yeah, we were talking about how it's a lie. I don't know if you were. I mean, you've been told a lot of shit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm high and I lost it now. I lost the thought.
That's cool.
It's just it is a Democrat and Republican thing because they do similar things in different ways. The Republicans are not afraid to, like Trump, say that they're gang members and yada 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 and use that rhetoric. The Democrats and Kamala and Joe Biden are great at saying they care about immigrants, but when they go on TV with a president of another country like that, they will go ahead.
Now I remember. Oh, I was gonna say because you said you believe that she said it with the intent that she said it, and like Walter was like, I don't know if my thought on that was like I wouldn't put it past her. It's the government, and no matter what has happened in U.S. history, the government has lied, misconstrued, or altered, something about history. They've never told the truth about anything.
And real quick, hold on. My bad.
Let me finish. So with that being said, when she's sitting here talking about the immigration and stuff, and then you educate yourself and you with the information that you just told us, Q, it just further proves the fact that they're always full of shit. It doesn't matter who's behind in front of the mic. They're always full of shit. They're always going to misconstrue it. And it's like, you talk about the immigration stuff, all the bad things that they quote unquote do. But I've literally worked down at the border with so many, Mexican people and Hispanics and stuff they have a family member that did jump the wall or, cross the river or whatever. But now they've, got 4 or 5 kids here that work legally and pay taxes and all that kind of come on, bro.
I know somebody that did.
I'm really big on.
We wouldn't have one of our niggas. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really big on something that I actually learned from Bernard. He was like, I operate off of what's better for the world. What's better for the world, not what's better for just me. I could fire somebody, yeah, sure, and that's done with me. But that could transpire to them going down a bad road in life. Or I can keep them on, and help construct them and try to make them better, and learn from their mistakes and build a better person. You know what I'm saying? And I think we as America don't use that logic when it comes to
it's about money, fam. Fuck with
So again, okay,
it's about that bag.
Okay,
that's saying I think about
that. Saying that though. So, but by you saying it's about that bag, then Kamala meant what she said.
Yeah, exactly.
So if that's the case, then if it's about that bag, then she's not showing any remorse. She's saying what she said because she meant it.
It's not about money in this case. It's about fear.
Yeah, exactly. This is a power, but I think it's a power thing. But I think the power thing comes with money. But I think it's a power thing. But you're right. It's a fear because You have to have a certain amount of power to be like, don't
no, America is built on being scared of other people and other cultures and other races. That's what it's built upon. It's instilled in our society. People don't understand that it's so instilled and ingrained that people are fearful of immigrants because of the rhetoric that people have used throughout history. And Kamala's rhetoric is the exact same. It's the exact same. They have to show that they're tough on borders. They show that because they're trying to appeal to a certain type of person. They already appealed to the people that they wanted to get to win. And that was we care about immigrants. We're going to fix things. No more kids in cages, yada, yada,
so
yada.
It's a move is what you're saying. It's a political move, right? Type thing. It's like a political move,
political language and rhetoric. And it's you have to keep that machine going of being afraid of immigrants. And there's a significant portion of our population that is tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I agree too. I'm tired of it too. Hey, hold on real quick. So I want to say this part for you. So what you said, Delaney, was interesting, and what you just said, Q2, it goes into what I was thinking about when I was talking about individualism and like I'm looking at like a person as a person. Do you think that this is just a question for y'all? Do you think it's more, and a question for our viewers too, if y'all want to comment on this, like, what do you think about the machine is built and these people have to fit into a mold to have to play the game? You know what I'm saying? Like how much of it is I have to be like I'm this person, and once you play in a game or you be around a certain amount of people, a certain type of people, to win you have to become a person. You know what I'm saying? So how much of it is to win I have to become a person, and how much of it is I am this person before?
How much of it is
and now it's coming out? You know what I'm saying? Like how much of it is I was already this person, and now since I'm in this position, I can abuse this power because I've been waiting to do it? And how much of it is I have to become this type of person to win at this game? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Did I word that right? Because like you were saying, Q, it's a situation where she gotta. And I'm not saying what she said was right or wrong. I mean, what she said was wrong is what I'm saying. But I'm not giving her an excuse like she should have did that. But how much is it like, just the idea of like how much of it is to be able to win again? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
what do I have to do? What kind of person do I have to become? Because she get a lot of slack on being a motherfucker that put niggas in jail and shit like that.
I don't think she legitimately sits there and says, I hate immigrants. But I do think that it is her. I mean, that's why she's the vice president. Like, we need to
exactly.
That's why
you have to be that person to get that position.
She's fucking Joe Biden. She's the same as Joe Biden. That's why she's the vice president, because it wasn't Bernie who's the vice president. It wasn't Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams could have been vice president. There's a reason why Stacey Abrams wasn't picked, because she's not going to play with all that. She would play the game less than Kamala would. Kamala's there because she plays the game. She plays that game. She knows what she's saying.
Yeah.
You're on mute.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But
that's the problem. That's who she is. She plays the game. She plays the game, so that's who she is. Yes, it is her. It is her.
So you saying she that person and she fits the mold. So because you that person, you fit the mold, you get to that.
You are vice president. If something happens to Biden, she would take up the same policies and the same not doing stuff. You're on mute, Delaney. You're on mute.
Oh, my bad. I agree with what you said, but I understand what you're asking though. You were asking basically is like, is it more how much are they playing politics and how much is it who they are, who they say they are?
Yeah. How much is it like you actually as a person, or how much is it like I have to be this person to win?
Yeah.
Or to progress, not win. Let me say progress.
Which neither of them matter because it's the same thing. I mean, if
Because
you're
at the end of the
playing
day,
to
it's fucked
win,
up.
if you're playing to
It's the
win,
same
that's the
outcome.
problem and why we're here in the first place. And you shouldn't. I mean, that's why people who don't like immigrants is in there. We're so like anti-immigration is because of the rhetoric of you supposedly have to play the game to win.
I think we're in a time where I say that I'm about to say is without no solution that I don't know. It's like we're just in a time where you can't play the game. Like you can't play the game. The game is too difficult.
Well, let me say it. I don't think it's difficult. I think people can see it now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
I think that's what it is.
I mean. Like you can't. That's what I mean. Like by you can't play the game in today's time is like because everybody can see it, and which further goes into the point of what we were talking about is like, people now realize and see the bullshit.
Yeah, like we were talking about off
see the bullshit. Like you can't piss on our foot and tell us it's raining anymore. Like there's too much resources, there's too much information out there that and people's like level of common sense is starting to like really trigger. And what I mean by that is like when you start to like really think about things and actions and certain laws and stuff, and like when you really sit there and think about them, like how full of shit that they are and how they are so flawed, let's just say, for lack of better words. And I think that's the issue.
Yeah, and real quick, go off what you said before I forget. So, like I was saying off camera, I think what it is now, the difference now is we're in the information age and the plastic age. But anyway, the information age, so information age. So back in the day, the only way that you got your information, what Q has said was back in the day, niggas believed the news because it was something like that. And what I was saying was only information that you had, it was before the internet, only way that you learned about the world outside of what you saw with your five senses was the newspaper. And then after the newspaper, you had the radio. After radio, you had the fucking TV. You know what I'm saying? And like outside of those three things, and those to a level are controlled by a certain person has a last word on it. Let me say it like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say control, but it's a certain person has a last word. And those three things, and to some extent, was some sort of perspective or narrative.
It constructed
some sort of narrative.
Definitely kind of like constructed or at least molded, people's perspective on things.
Yeah, exactly. And in certain situations, it was like this is the only perspective. This is the only narrative. So it was a group consensus that it was the truth. It was like a mass consensus that this was the truth. Like, oh, that shit in the news. That shit real because it's in the newspaper. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and now because the internet. What'd you say?
Yeah, no, because like prime example, like do you like listen to the question? Do you think like an event like September 11th could have happened in today's technology world? Like just literally like, do you even remember? Like, I know we asked
this. That's a random ass question, nigga. I don't think I want to answer that question. So back to what I was saying.
No, I'm saying.
I get what you mean by like us going to war. I think there would have been a lot more people against going to war because they would have realized that they would have likely been lying about weapons of mass destruction.
Exactly. It would have been more information. It would have been more information available to understand.
And look at what happened with that, though. I mean, look at what we've done to the Middle East. And look, we have a bunch of refugees from the Middle East. I have friends who come.
personally.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
I mean, it's money, power, and control.
Yeah.
You want to control the region.
You
These
wanna
people,
control
the more
resources,
power they
yeah.
have, the less power the U.S. has. They don't want to be part of the U.S. They don't want to be backed by the U.S. They don't want anything to do with the United States.
Yeah.
And I
Resources.
fucking understand.
But
I
also-
understand.
Also, listen to this domino effect. Because we have those resources or be able to research and stuff. Think of, and like Q said, there have been so many people against war. Guess what goes down? Enlistment numbers. Think about how many soldiers, let's call it what it is, wouldn't die. And like, think about how people would view the government then and the military then. Because then, like I said, you think about all the other things that, the military and the government plays a role in. Football and everything else from
they got a basketball team too. Shit, what do you mean?
You said what?
Well, nah, the Army loves those football commercials. The Army the military and football commercials. Next time you watch a football game, next time you watch the Super Bowl, count how many freaking military commercials you see. There's at least one every game.
Bro, I know. There's USAA, there's Navy Federal.
Bro, that's where I see the most fucking Army. Military commercials is from there, bro. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God.
Hey, man.
And you know what?
Y'all know
you got to put a commercial out to recruit for the military. That tells me you have.
You know how I feel about Roger Goodell, fam. I think Roger Goodell is the devil. It's a whole movie about him trying to kill a dude, and he still got the same job.
Or about how a bunch of black men have brain problems because of the NFL and how they tried to hide it. You mean that guy?
Oh yeah. Did you see
about how they? Yeah.
They just got sued. Dollars. Fuck that. The NFL just got sued just now, nigga. Like 2 months ago, they got to pay like a couple $100 million settlement, damn near maybe $1 billion, because when they did their injury, it was like an injury evaluation. They put black people's IQ at a lower standard than white people.
Yeah.
For years. This was until last year, nigga. This was every year.
It's still going on. Of course.
Every year
it's still going on.
Now remember, Kaepernick still don't got a job. Also, remember.
And that's the thing is, and that's what we're talking about. Oh, the NFL does a couple things, and everybody's like yada yada yada. But Kaepernick's still blackballed. You know what I mean? And this motherfucker, all he did was kneel. The most peaceful, whatever you want to say. He got told by a veteran to kneel, and so it's all a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah. Okay, Q. Say that.
I like that Q get emotional. Bro, it's organized, but it's unorganized at the same time. Like, there's a reason why they put all that stuff on there, but at the same time, like, they're dumb as fuck. like, and so.
And that's where I think people's level of common sense is starting to kick in. Like that. Wait, like what? Like
But not everything's a conspiracy.
But information
like you tell people that America
is what I was saying earlier.
But people don't believe that America overthrew like governments all across the world in the past 60 years. They just don't believe it. They think you're talking about
conspiracy. They don't believe
these are federal documents.
They're federal documents because we weren't taught it. It's like if we weren't taught it, it's not true.
Which is what I was saying earlier about the newspaper, fam. Same shit.
Oh yeah,
and it's the same shit. The education system. If you, I think black people kind of knew that the education system was some bullshit though. Like at least motherfuckers coming from a certain situation. Like in the hood, I knew it was some bullshit. I mean, shit ain't. This is white people shit.
I mean,
but I would just say my situation. We had that perspective. Like I understand it, and I know this is what they. I didn't think it was the whole truth. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, and real quick to finish what I was saying earlier, we got on a whole nother tangent. I just think beforehand, people didn't have the information readily available immediately like we do now. And because you do now, because it's actual people that can come from a unbiased situation, an unmoney biased situation. it's more, we're more apt to realize what's going on. Let me say it like that. We're more apt to have resistance to what's going on. Let me say it like that. So it's like an old system. So think about it, like the way that like the government and like the way that they make laws, and you got to go to the fucking chamber and hit a gavel, and that shit was in the 1800s. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit, it's the same shit that they did like back in the day. Same thing with education. Like, think about that. Like, we still thinking we should. I mean, classes are different now a little bit, but like for the most part, it's the same. Public education, you in a classroom, and it's like, you know, one teacher and blah blah blah. Now they kind of added technology, but when you think about it, at the end of the day, like that shit is ancient. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ancient. It's the same thing with the government, the way the government's set up, and the way that it's ran, and the way that it's the way that the game is played. Like we was talking about how Kamala got to play that game, but she that type of person. So when you that type of person, you fit into that position because you play the game a certain way.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I think Americans are some of the most indoctrinated, not critical thinking, illogical people on the planet. I mean, that's what our society reinforces.
I think you have to be the richest
with the
country in the world.
Education system. It's all propaganda.
You have to be the richest country in the world, fam.
We're not.
Well, that's how we got rich, is we exploited people, and we've kept people, you know, underdeveloped, and we haven't given, we stole resources from these people. That's why Haiti's like the way it is. That's why South America, that's why the Middle East is the way it is. That's why Africa is the way it is. And then they want to tell you China's the problem, and China's indoctrinated, and China's your enemy, and China's the one doing all this. And it's so much worse in China. It's so much worse everywhere across the world. But I mean, yeah, we're the richest planet and we're number 37 at math or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason for all these things. And it's not that education, public education is bad.
Like, wait a minute.
We're the richest country in the world.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
we got money. We can't count the shit, though. We can't count it. I can't count to 10, nigga, but I got 20 billion.
And it's meant to be like that. It's why you get told you have to work so hard, and maybe one day you'll get somewhere and you'll get some money, and why all the, I mean, it's all propaganda. Like,
listen,
and as
bro,
I've gotten older, the more and more I've realized it. The more and more I realize that saying the Pledge of Allegiance every day is for a reason.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Why do you have children saying that every day? I mean, it's indoctrination. It's like there's nationalism everywhere. Like, people are proud of their country and where they're from. But here it's something different. Like, here it's like, it's extreme. I mean, it's extreme, and it's embedded in our culture. The everyday person, like, if you say something bad about America, like, the everyday person freaks out. They can't fathom it. They can't
actually hold on, because I feel like recently that person is only a Trump nigga. Recently, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, recently now, they've
been saying it, bro. In the 60s, they were saying it. Like, Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, Martin Luther King, they were already all saying this. They were already saying that America's a fascist country. They were already saying they were doing all these things in South America, and it's fucking wrong. They were already telling us this. They were already telling us we're indoctrinated. They were already telling us that the law is horrible and it's fucking racist, and that this country was built on. They were already telling us this. It's just that the propaganda was good enough to work for 40 years. They crushed
it. Wasn't that the guns was working too, because all the people you named is dead.
Exactly. And they crushed it, and which is why they're trying to crush it now and do the same thing. They kill people. They all these local police forces, jail. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't kill the internet, which is the difference.
For now, I mean, yes, you can. That's why Black
can't
Lives Matter.
keep it
They did, bro.
manipulated.
They did.
It's
Listen, you
manipulated.
saw it in real time with Black Lives Matter. The support was through the roof in the first few weeks, and it slowly dropped off because of the propaganda. You lost people who were like, oh, we can't defund the police. I would never defund the police. Well, not all cops are bastards. The propaganda worked. All the cops arresting people,
I mean,
all the
I ain't
cops
gonna say it
arresting
worked,
Oregon.
but it's always.
It's the same thing. They crushed it, bro. They used the internet. They put out propaganda. They did all this stuff for over a year. Liberals, they co-opted everything. Oh no, we can't do this good. We can't do it this way. You guys have to be peaceful and stand on the sidewalk with a sign. If you don't do that, then you're violent and it's not going to work. This isn't going to work. You have to do it this way. And if you don't do it this way, we're not going to take you seriously.
Now, real quick, I'm not going to sit here and say that standing on the sidewalk with the signs didn't make a little change, but it didn't make a major change. But I know what you're saying.
It didn't make the change we need.
Enough.
We're not going to get the change that we need because they're so good at saying you guys didn't do it the right way, so you are wrong. The way you did it was wrong. That's
but I also think that part of that too is violence. Violence is like a really big deterrent, because every single time that these situations happen, it's always met with violence. So like, and what I mean by violence is the police beating niggas' ass and killing niggas.
And that's the thing too, is people got scared. No one wants to go protest when the threat is you getting shot at with tear gas and those fucking rifles. They've got snipers on the roof. No one wants to go do that.
So that's what I'm saying. So we got to make sure that we say that. I just want to make sure.
It's multiple reasons. That's what I mean. It's alive and well, and they crush it.
Violence is a big reason too. You know what I'm saying? Violence is a big reason. Because we saw grown men, and that's the craziest part too, man. Like all these, fuck that DEC nigga shit. Like fuck them, fam.
But that's the thing is the liberals told people,
that they only hit the women. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like
everybody was ready to fuck DEC up multiple times. The reason why DEC shut the fuck up is because people finally stood up to them and said, you know what, you can do whatever you want, but we're not having it. You could say and think whatever you want.
Some hoes.
Because y'all aren't gonna do this shit. Y'all aren't gonna come and
stab and shit.
Y'all aren't doing, and they don't. There is a population who is not gonna allow that type of shit to go anymore, and there's another population of the liberals who say no, just stay home, and then things like January 6th happened.
Yeah.
Because the liberals still believe that the police are there to protect people when they're really there to crush political movements like that. That's why in every city you saw them mobilize like the military. You don't need
it's an arm of the government, fam. It's an arm of the government.
You don't need COINTELPRO when you have every single police freaking in every single city is occupied and they can crush any movement. And there's people who think, oh, we're just going to overthrow things, and that's not going to happen either. There's an army in every city.
We use more money on our police than like 80% of the world spends on their army. And it's like most major countries are put together on their army. We spend that on the police.
It's like China, Russia.
No, I don't remember the countries, but I'm just saying most. Let's say that most countries, most major countries, fam, we spend more on the police than they do on the army. So what does that tell you? And that's letting you. That was the people that live where you at. You know what I'm saying? You spend more money to fuck them up than you do defend or fuck up other people. But keep going. I plead the fifth. I think this was a good podcast, y'all. I like this.
Yeah. I'll just end it with that all the propaganda, it's decent, and the violence, and you know what I mean. It was good for them. It was good for them to crush the movements. That's why it was so easy. It was easy. Counterinsurgency was from the day one. That's why you saw cops dancing with people. That's why you saw the cops kneeling. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's also why they made Judas and the Black Messiah. Come on now, you know what's going on. This movie just came out. Come on, now. It's a whole movie about the government fam, it's a movie about the government coming and planting a dude that's a rant so they can go and kill him.
And holding people on $1 million bail. Like, protesters in Southern California have been arrested and held on $1 million bail. That's less than Derek Chauvin was held on. Like, and so it's because
you mean more.
Yeah, it's more. Sorry. It's because there is political power being built between 20 to 40-year-olds. What's the best way to stop that is to crush the movement, infiltrate them in ways where you do have some informants or some people who go and co-opt and say, no, we can't do it this way. Intimidate people, put people on bail, arrest organizers, identify them, surveil them, all of this stuff. Like,
hey, real quick,
put out propaganda, put out news pieces that call people murderers when they get shot and they really weren't. It's all like, it's either on purpose or they make mistakes and they don't give a fuck to correct them. And it just helps the narrative of that. All these protesters are are horrible people without jobs
we're good and they're bad. Yeah.
Right. And it's because that political power is real. 20 to 40-year-olds don't think the same way that they want us to and that we were taught to. So they have to be able to crush it and put out propaganda and
it's got to be an opposition too. Yeah, they got to find some way to oppose it and destroy it and discredit it.
So yeah, that's all I got to say about it.
I ain't mad at that. On that note, it's your boy Walter Ford.
And GDQ.
It's your boy Mac.
And we go. It's the Activated Podcast.
Activated Podcast. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed.
Stay optimistic. Keep fighting.
Yup.
Don't listen to the rhetoric.
Arrest the people that killed Breonna Taylor.
Boop.